We just finished an amazing Yom Kippur, and Baruch Hashem, everybody came out with a push and with a drive and with a simcha. You saw it in the morning over here. Everybody was excited to be here. They was excited to come and learn. They were excited to come pray. This is what a big excitement that a person has to have. But there's one thing that a person must know, and that the Ochot Tzdikim teaches us, and that is what? You have to love something. You know what he says? You have to love to live a long life. You heard that? That's what he writes. Ahavat orech yamim. You have to love living. You know? Mi aish chafetz chayim. Who is a person that yearns life? Ohev yamim. This, what I'm telling you now, Rab Scheinberg used to say, he would say this Dvar Torah all the time. When people would ask him, what's the best advice that you can give? Imagine right now, you're sitting next to the Gadol Ador, Rab Scheinberg, Rab Chaim Pinchas Scheinberg, and you go ask him, what's the best advice that you can give? And you know what he answered? Ohev Yamim. You have to love the days. Hashem gave you another day of life. He just finished Kippur. He says, he stamped you, Bezrat Hashem l'haim, for life. You're still alive. But what do you have to do with that? You have to love life. You have to appreciate that you're alive. This one day that you're alive, I love it. Thank you, Hashem. I survived another Yom Kippur. I made another Yom Kippur. You know what that is? Now you have another day of life. You have to utilize that time. You have to take advantage of it. Somebody told me yesterday, you know what he's doing? He said, what are you doing? He said, I'm so happy that I finished Kippur and I made it, that from now to the next Kippur, I'm going to have a journal. I'm going to have a notebook, a small notebook that I'm going to carry. Not a phone, but a notebook, small one, with a pen. He says, every day, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write the good things that I did, and heaven forbid the bad things that, if I did something bad, and I'm going to make tshuva every single night before I go to sleep, looking through it. Yes, good, yes. And meanwhile, I'm like telling him, this, what you're doing, says in the Machzor. It says in the Machzor, you know what I'm saying? It says that a person should look at his deeds every single night before he goes to sleep. I had a friend in yeshiva. Every day he would go to sleep, he would go through his entire day. I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm going through my whole entire day. Why? He says, because I want to be clean every day, not just Yom Kippur. He goes through his day. What I do right, what I do wrong, what I do right, what I do wrong. You make cheshbon nefesh, it's called. You make cheshbon nefesh. I have a journal that I wrote personally that my kids take it out about every few months. They take it out and they ask me to read it Friday nights, Lil Shabbat. And my kids know. What did I do? I didn't know I was going to go 4 years into Israel after high school. I thought I was going 1. So what did I do? That 1 year that I was there, I never wanted to forget anything I did. So I remember, it's still in my house, you can see it. I wrote every single day that I did before I went to sleep. I wrote the date, I wrote exactly what I did. I woke up in the morning and I went to Shaharit. I was the first 10 in the minyan. And I had a bet with one of my friends to motivate each other. You know what was the bet? It was like $500 bet. If we have 30 days, whoever gets there first and have to mark everything I wrote, every single thing I wrote happened on Yom Kippur. I have a crazy story in my journal. Everything I wrote down after the day was all done, I wrote it down, and you'll see it. The date, what I did, the date, what I did, the date, what I did. And it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. And my kids ask me, Dad, read what you did that. Read what you did at Hanukkah. And I have it written down. I have exactly written down what I did at Hanukkah. And I played the drill versus and this and that. And I had a Dvar Torah and I wrote it. And read what you did Purim. So Purim, that I can't read for you. I had to drink too much. I drank too much. Writing it. I said, I'll never forget that Purim. I was the best Purim of my life. I drank, my rabbi was giving me, Yallah. I went on the balcony. He had a balcony overviewing such a view of Israel. And I was just like, meditating, just like thinking, boy, they do it with Hashem. And I was like, pouring out my heart, crying, going wild. That's the greatest Purim I had in my life. But I'm just bringing a point. Everything is written down. And you go back, and they're excited. And I know everything, you can see it. And you go back. This is what you do every day, right? If you can, it might be difficult, but you can do it. You can do it. Take a notebook. Listen to what I'm telling you. You love life. This is how you live life. You could go back after 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 20 years from now. You could save it for your kids. And when they grow up, you know what I did? Your grandkids, you know what I did? This is what I did. I have everything written down. I prayed. I was the first 10. I was this. And even if you do it every single day, I was the first 10 today. You missed it. You're right. I missed being the first 10 today in shul. And you say, I learned 3 hours today. I learned 4 hours today. Like that, you write it down. You know what I'm saying? I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that. I did a good deed. Write it down. Write it down. A guy came to me, he was poor, he needed help. This, that, I helped him out. Even though you know. But over here, you know which day, you know what you did. You understand? Write everything down. And if you slipped up, sorry Hashem, I slipped up, but you don't want them to see that, You put like a parentheses, do not read the following, You know what I'm saying? For yourself. So now you go back up, then you know what you can do? The next Yom Kippur, before Yom Kippur starts, like a week before Kippur starts, or 2 weeks before Kippur starts, you know exactly what you written down, and you know we have to make tshuva, and also I did tshuva, but I'll make it again on Yom Kippur. I did this and I did that. There was a rabbi, how one time, how he did something on the Shabbat. He said, oh my goodness, he wrote it in his notes, when the Bet HaMikdash comes along, I have to bring a korban, because I did this on the Shabbat. It's brought down in the Gemara like that. He wrote down, I did A, B, and C. When the Bet HaMikdash comes, I owe a korban to HaKadosh Baruch Hu because I did A, B, and C. Imagine, okay, we're not on that level. We're not how much korbanot you have to bring. We're not on that level. We're not on that level. But whatever level you're on, you love life. I don't want to go back. What do I do? A guy hits 20 years later. What do I do over the 20 years? Well, you have written down. Oh, you know what I did in 2022? Boom. And he can start anytime. He can start today. Yom Kippur just finished. And at the end of the Yom Kippur, you go back, and you look at it, wow, I'm going to go real quick. You understand? Hear what's going on over here? Like that, you clean always, every day you clean. There's a person who loves life. He wants to utilize every single day of his entire life.